Good morning, Rick. Paul here with an update. We have, of course, on the starboard side, no new news here. 4 coats of varnish on the starboard side. And at that point, about 2 weeks ago today, we were all prepared to put a coat of varnish on the decks, which we did on Monday. And then I asked the question about putting the caulk seams in, and you wanted us to go ahead and do that. And it's a good thing we did. We tape off for the caulk seams, and what you'll see is that when we pulled the tape, we pulled a portion of our layer of varnish off, all over the boat. It took about a day to tape it. So we know we were dry. In preparation for our varnish, we did our washing on a Friday night. We washed it 3 times with soap and water. We figured there might be some road grime on this on the boat, some oils from the roads and so forth. So we did that, and then we did it wipe down with the proper thinner for the flagship varnish right before we applied the flagship varnish. So, and then it took basically all day to tape. We started the front, worked our way to the back, and as you can see, even near the back, it wasn't drying. We're looking at what are the reasons for this, and trying to come up with the reasons, and also a solution. We didn't want to. I actually took a video the day we were pulling the tape, and I thought, man, this guy's brought me this boat for solutions, not problems, and I need to figure out the solution before I communicate to him. We tried several solutions. We said, well, gee, that's not a big deal. It's got 4 coats of varnish on it. We'll just sand our coat off and then recoat. We immediately, in trying to sand our coat off, we burnt through in several places back here. So we said, well, okay, well, how can we get this off? How can we get this layer off? Was our first thought. So how do we get this layer off? Well, we can't sand, so can we soften it with mineral spirits? Because mineral spirits is, will thin varnish, conventional varnish. That had no effect whatsoever. I actually used an eraser wheel very successfully up here. I got this layer of varnish off of this little area in just a couple minutes with an eraser wheel that goes in a drill. I thought I had a eraser wheel laying around here, but somebody's cleaned up my mess for me, and I don't know, didn't put it back where I normally keep them, where I should have put it when I got done with it. But then as I stewed about this and lied awake at night about this, quite literally, I realized, well, gee, even if we got this layer off, there's no guarantee that the next layer is going to stick any better than this layer. I wanted to show you, we talked about the use of 2-part products. This is the problem I've had with 2-part products before. This one's called Bristol Finish. I've never had a paint that doesn't stick to the container that it was mixed in, so or that it was put in before it was applied to a boat. So you see how the 2-part shrinks. That was Bristol. This is Signature Finish. These 2 people were at one time in business with one another, and they had differing opinions. So now there's 2 different products. Anyway, so we got 2-part stuff on here, which I really am surprised that when we pulled the tape up, we didn't get the 2-part product coming up from the wood. But the 2-part product seems to be sticking to the wood. So, so here's my recommendation. We've got, I can do some pictures for you, but we've got significant cross-grain scratches right along the edge here of the decks. Not as bad as the one that we've got here on the starboard or port side that we've not finished, or not fixed yet. But and there's more than just that one that we got pictures of. I mean, they're all over the sides in various places, various depths. I guess you know where I'm headed. Even if I could get this layer off, I really can't, quote-unquote, guarantee that the other coats we put on here are going to stick. Someday you may be trying to fix a caulk line, and you pull tape, and you pull our, let's see, we're going to put 5 more coats on here because you had 4. You pull our 5 coats of varnish off of here that you paid for. So I'm proposing that we go ahead and strip the decks and strip this side here, and go ahead with you know, doing it right and eliminating all the variables. I think that the variables are, you know, it's how can I make sure that we're not going to have this problem again? Eliminate the variables. I've never had this problem in 30 years. I've never had this problem in 30 years. So I can investigate some more. I can talk with our varnish supplier, the International Paint Company. They make Pettit and Z-Spar. They own all those companies now, Pettit, Z-Spar, the flagship. Anyway, so all those are owned by International Paint Company. So I can talk with them. We can research it further, maybe come up with a different solution. But this one has stymied me. I'm not very good at delivering bad news, and this is, in my mind, very bad news. I'm not good at it because I'm so careful that I don't have to, because we make sure we're careful, and we don't have to. We don't make bad news. So, and that's why you're here. So, anyway, I want you to take a look at that. I will give you a call, or you can give me a call after you've looked at it. I guess that would make more sense. Tell me what you think about the plan of attack. As we had described when I was out there in the summertime, a strip and refinish on a boat this size is $13,000. So I have to look up and see what you've spent so far. But the idea would be, okay, we will do the decks and we'll do the sides, and we'll make sure that the total is no more than $13,000, and potentially less. If we can make it less, we'll make it less. But if it exceeds that, basically I'm giving you a not to exceed price. The problems go away, the issues go away, you get the varnish job that you want, and we can move forward. Again, I apologize for being on the dark side of the moon for the last week and a half while we tried to figure this out. And like I say, we figured it out. You know, I know I can take this off with an eraser wheel, this layer. I don't know if the next layer is going to stick, and I don't know what kind of damage I might be doing with the eraser wheel that would keep the next layers from sticking, or what kind of residue I'd be putting on it. So I don't think taking this coat of varnish off down to yours is a viable answer. Anyway, give me a call with your thoughts, and we'll move on from there. Your business is very important to me. I know you've got a Hutchinson sitting there, and you've got a Holiday sitting there, and I would love to have that business. You know, this one's just out of our control. Just a story, when I used this 2-part stuff, a customer insisted I use it, and that stuff peeled off later. He insisted he had used Signature, and he'd gotten bubbles just bubbles mainly at the deck seams, but and it was just blisters and releasing from the wood. So he insisted that I use this, which I did. I thought, well, I'll learn how to use that. That'll be great. This stuff supposedly can be put on coat after coat, and you can get all your varnish work done in one day. And that sounded really wonderful. But it also blistered up, and then later we could peel it off it just peeled right up, like in strips. So my quality was out of my control because of what the customer insisted that we work with, and you've not insisted that I work with anything, and you've been very good in that respect. I think though, because we're on a product that, you know, we don't know exactly what was done or what's used, and you know, obviously we're putting a different manufacturer's product on top of it. That kind of puts it out of our control, and we didn't see that train wreck coming. So again, I don't know what else I can say, but in order to move forward, you and I are going to have a powwow, and we'll see where we go from there. Thanks, Rick.